Stand up and find him. Stand up and feel him. Oh, my Lord. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory. Oh, my Lord. Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory.
What I've come to talk to you about today touches me, has touched me, will touch you, or touch somebody that you know close to you. One of my sons 5 years ago was stabbed. I received a phone call to say that he'd been stabbed. No other information other than to get to Queen Elizabeth Hospital as quick as you can. All the thoughts that went through my mind at the time: would he still be alive? Am I going to get there in time? What happened? Why? Why did it happen? Why has somebody tried to kill my son? When I arrived at the hospital to find my son lying on a bed, blood spilling down from his face, the moment of joy suddenly came to a fruition that he wasn't dead, that he was still alive. His eyes were blinking. He was able to look at me and call Dad. But he was the lucky one. He was able to walk out of hospital 2 days later. But now let's listen to some people who unfortunately it wasn't lucky for.
Just awful pain. And it's behind your eyes, it's in your head, it's in your chest, in your stomach. It's a dragging sensation. It's almost, you're acting out life, if you like. You know, you're living life, but it's almost like it's a robotic reaction to things because you're just in so much pain constantly.
The doctor came and she sat in front of me and she held my hands. And I said to her, "What's the matter?" She says, "Don't say anything, I know."
I literally just fell to pieces. I just didn't know what to do.
I just yelled, I just screamed, I screamed, and I started to go into a panic.
And I said, no, he never. I said, no.
Night of the 8th of August, it was such, my life felt like it was ended at that point. It really took me back. I just saw stars. My head was in a daze. I was dizzy. I felt like I was going to faint.
This is happening up and down our countries, in our cities. It's happening to our children. It's happening to the innocent children, the children who are walking down the street minding their own business. Today, a mother is crying for a child who has been murdered by a knife or by a gun. Today, a mother is crying because her son or her daughter has been arrested and is now facing a serious crime and serious time. We as parents, we as guardians, we as grandparents, we as community people have to do something about it. We cannot depend on the police, we cannot depend on the government. When another child's life is taken, it is too late for that person, that family, for the chain effect that it has on friends and others. We need to do something today.
Jodie Chesney, Charlotte Huggins, Tudor Simonov, Nedim Bilgin, Lajine Richards, Dennis Anderson, Alini Mendez, Simbozo Aretha Mula, Sarah Ashraf, Asma Begum, Camille Melzi, Bright Akinyele, Glendon Spence, Shay Morrison, David Lopez Fernandez, Kamal Gibberdon Lynch, Brian Wieland, Jaden Moody. I'm not sure that that is a complete list of everyone who has been killed by a knife.
Like, what's your purpose? What are you getting out of it? Like, honestly, what are you getting out of it? Taking somebody's life, How are you going to sleep at night knowing you took someone's life?
What is in their minds? Why are they doing it? What are they expecting to get out of it? The splendours and the gold, the now and not tomorrow. Let's listen to someone who openly admits that they have stabbed someone.
When I stabbed someone, it didn't feel nice, but I had to, as I said to you, I had to do what I got to do. But I said that I need the money at the time, and I see this guy, he walked past me in a nice Rolex, so I had to stab him to get that, because he was trying to fight back, so I had to stab him. I stabbed him 6 times.
Thought, my child, my first child, how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to live for the rest of my life?
I am a man of forgiveness. I am a man that believes in second chances. But after hearing that young man speak about his purpose and his reason for what he did, that he has to do what he has to do, which is to take or to attempt to take somebody's life. He stabbed somebody 6 times. If you carry a knife, you should get life.
This generation, this society, growing up now, all they know is about knives and money and selling drugs, because that's what they've been shown. And if they don't know anything else and no one's guiding them and pulling them away from that, then they'll just only go down one path.
A knife is not the weapon to use. Our tongue is our sword. Our sword should be our weapon of use, not knives or guns.
The moment you decide to carry a knife, you are taking a whole family into that grave with you.
Cowards carry a knife because they're prepared to take somebody's life.
A knife to ruin a life. Love and pain dashed down the drain.
An adult, a child, an attack gone wild. A big problem, damage short term and long term.
A death with blood. A child dying in the mud. Bravery and protection.
Goodbye, love and affection.
Don't ruin a life. Don't carry a knife.
If you carry a knife, you should get life. You may say that's strong, draconian, but our young people are dying. Our mothers and fathers, grandparents, brothers and sisters are having to live through a death that was not necessary. If you carry a knife, you should get life. There are 4 reasons why somebody might be carrying a knife. 1, for fear and protection. I think it's what you call the mirror effect. I better carry one just in case somebody else has got one. We've got to turn that around. And I believe that if everybody is aware that the sentence is life for carrying a knife, we could turn that around. Another reason why people carry a knife is for respect. Somewhere in the young generation, respect is added by a knife. We've got to turn it around. Why people might carry a knife is just to show off. When you've seen some of the footage on social media and on the television, the size of these knives that some of these young people are carrying is just to show off. We've got to do something about it. But as I've said already, it's like a mirror effect. If they know you're carrying a knife, they're more likely to carry a knife as well. Another one of the reasons why somebody might be carrying a knife is peer pressure. And that comes in many descriptions. But if we can say, you're going to get life in prison for carrying a knife, we could turn this around. It's not going to happen overnight. For those who don't listen, for those who don't want to do it the right way, for those who want to change the rules, those who don't want to be part of a community but want to be part of a gang. The gangs have arrived because the community is failing our young people. Our young people are heading to prison. Some people have this wild dream that prison is a great place to be. There is always somebody bigger and unfortunately uglier who's prepared to make your life more difficult. I want you to take a listen to this young man who served 21 years of his life in prison after a moment of madness that then created a death that he then spent 21 years of his life.
When I went out with a knife, I thought I knew what I was going to do. I thought I could control, do you know what I mean? And then one thing will happen to another. I stabbed a guy, do you know what I mean? I stabbed a guy and I stabbed him once and he died from the stab wound. It turns most normal people crazy. It's like so much crazy people living under the same roof in one house. You can get up for breakfast in the morning, you don't say good morning to someone, that guy will come and stab you. Same in prison, but you can't run away in prison. People think prison's glamorous. Prison's horrible. Prison's disgusting. Prison's dangerous. Prison's violent. I mean, I've been stabbed 5 times. That little 10 minutes or 5 minutes when people's having a fight out here, you're going to go on a little gang war, you're doing what you're doing, but it's like that every day for years and years and years and years, and you can't turn it off.
I'm hoping it's not your child. Your child that's been stabbed, or your child that's stabbed. Parents, you've got to do your home searches. We've got to check our children before they go out the door. We can't leave it to the police. The police are seen as enemy.
All they say is, oh, lack of staff, we can't let you out. Like, it needs to change, like, we're human beings as well.
Do it in love. Search your child and tell them, I'm searching you because I love you and I want you to stay safe.
We saw the fear and violence.
Yeah, it's one person.
I'm not saying I've got all the answers, and that's why I've done this video. I'm asking for you, the community, to come forward with suggestions and ideas of how we as a community, not depending on the government, not depending on the police, but us as a community. We've done it before years ago and we can do it again today. We can come together, black, white, Asian, Chinese, of any description. We come together as a family of people and we can do something about it. But it starts at home. It starts with you making sure you know what your children are doing and who they're mixing with. It's not easy, but we've got to try. I'd like to thank those clips that I've used in this video. I hope that you see that it is in regards to trying to do something about it. And your comments, your words, your tears is what hopefully will open the eyes of somebody else. So thank you.